Good morning, everybody. That is a messy job getting things greased up, but it's something you got to stay on top of. Today we are loading the skid loader up into the dump trailer and heading down the road, not even a quarter of a mile, to the furnace. The reason this channel is called Firewood at the Furnace. And we've got a pile of logs down there that has been sitting for several months now. I was kind of waiting on the grapple truck to get here to get some practice using the grapple truck to bring those logs up. The motor's running, but it's at the hydraulic shop right now. We're getting a little too close for comfort for the fellowship, and I've got to get the wood into the yard. So today we're going to be going down there, cutting those logs, getting them loaded in the trailer, bringing them here and dumping it, and see how many loads we can get into the yard to give me a good inventory for this event that's coming up. Winter time has set in here in Maryland. It is cold. You can see my breath. I got the beanie hat on. I've got my brand new hybrid Joe's Premium Firewood shirt on that I won from Joe in a bet. It's got both of us on the front, JPF on the left sleeve and the Bald Eagle on the right sleeve. And on the back, you can see Joe's Premium Firewood, Firewood at the Furnace, Eastonmade wood splitters, and of course, Team Orange and Blue. So thank you, Joe, and thank you, Bill Moon, for making this for me. It's the first time that I've had it on my back since he gave it to me on Thursday's live stream. But we're going to get the skid loader loaded up now, head down to the furnace, and get some work done today. Stick around. So here we are at the Principio Furnace, the old Iron Forge historical property that we have right in our backyard. That's the mansion house up there that is getting a makeover. New roof, new windows, new siding, new front porch. It's going to look really good. It's just about done. This is the old post office back from the 1800s. It still stands. Some of the historical buildings have been torn down. There's a couple still standing down this way, and the actual iron furnace, I don't know if you can see it from here, but there's a creek that runs down through there, and the iron furnace is just over that hill because the creek used to feed the baffles to fan the fire. But anyway, we are parked right here next to the wood that we need to retrieve today. These were standing dead ash trees, and it looks like decent sized firewood logs. And the company that took these trees down left the logs here for me. So we'll go through this. I'm going to try to divide up the nicer, straighter pieces to put in the area where the axis is, plural, 2 of them, will be set up for the fellowship to make bundle wood. And the rest will go in the pile with the heating wood that all the other machines will be splitting. So there's a good bit of wood here. I'm hoping I can get it all today, but if not, we're going to get a good chunk of it. So let's get unloaded, set you up on the tripod, and see what we can do. Well, there's load number one. I'm not going to try to pack it on too heavy and too tall and too wide because it's just the top of that hill right there. You make a right and my wood yard's literally right there. So I don't have too far to go. I set a couple of logs off to the side over here. They're pretty straight looking barkless ash logs that'll be good for bundle wood. So as I go through and I see some really good straight ones, I'll just set those aside and then take one load at the end of bundle wood. So I would imagine there's probably going to be at least 5 loads here. Let's go get this dumped and we'll come back and get some more. All right, the first load is off and we are pulling out of the yard now, and I figured I'd take you with me on a little ride so you can see just how far away the furnace is from the wood yard. So we'll head out the driveway here, and we got 2 turns to make, a right out of the driveway and then a left, and we'll be there. If you're interested in the history of the furnace, back in the very beginning of the channel, I did put out a video and do an interview with my Aunt Sarah, who is the caretaker of this historical property, who explains a lot about what went on here on this land back in the 1800s. She does a really good job. She's very passionate about the Principio furnace. Here's the mansion house entrance right here. And she has a great knowledge of what went on, so I continue to learn stuff about the history around me every time I talk to her about it. But it's a pretty good little video. If you want to check that out, I'll link it here at the top. But here's the post office. There's the skid loader and the pile of logs right down there. So I'm thinking maybe 1/10 of a mile, 2/10 maybe. But we are back here now. We'll get another load of logs. I'll put you on time lapse, get this loaded up, and figure out where we're gonna dump all this wood in the yard here today. Alright, this is the first log that I've encountered that's too long for the trailer, and it's too heavy to lift. So I'm going to have to get the 500 out here real quick and bust this thing in half. Well, we're getting there. Made a hole through the back of the pile now. I've moved some stuff to the side over here that was either, you know, really small or rotten or ugly looking. And then I've got a pile over here on this other side. There's still a few good logs in there, but there's some small stuff and then the great big stuff that I had to cut before I could load it. But that's load number 4 on the trailer now. And I still have the good straight bundlewood looking stuff. There's some more bundlewood mixed in to these loads, but I just separated the really good looking stuff. So load number 4 is going to the yard now. We'll definitely get load number 5. And then load number 6 might be some trashy stuff that we'll just get rid of. But we'll see. Let's go dump this one. We just got back from dumping that load, and I just want to give you a little tour. If you look up there towards the post office, you can see the skid loader sitting up there. That's where we're loading the wood. But I wanted to show you, for those of you who have never seen it before, down here is where the furnace is. And there she stands right there in all her glory. There are still some remnants of the old baffle system down here where the pipes, the water pipes fed the baffle system to turn the wheel, to fan the flames. That's not the original furnace because during the war, the British came in and demolished it, and because it was producing cannonballs for the war. So they wanted to get rid of it, obviously. So this is the next one that they built after that, but you can see the creek is right down there, and that's the water supply for the furnace. And it's a pretty neat little place to come visit if you're interested in that kind of stuff. That pile is gone, except for a little bit of trash that I've got left over here that I threw aside. Some big gnarly stuff, and then some punky stuff, and just stuff that I don't want to deal with. So that's going to be a load of trash that I'm getting rid of. But all in all, we got 4 loads of logs to the woodyard today. Cleaned it up. I back drugged this a little bit just to make it look a little nicer. But yeah, that load on the trailer is trash. It's going to the mulch processing place that I have to dump. And then this little bit left here is going to go there as well. So all in all, a good day's work, and I'm glad I got some more wood at the yard now. The next big job is to start getting all that bucked up, and you're going to see that hopefully on next Wednesday's video. All right, that is it for the day. Skid loader's loaded back on the trailer, heading back to the house. Brady's got a basketball game this afternoon that I want to get to. So all in all, we got a lot of work done today. We got accomplished what I wanted to. Now it's time to cut. Said next week you'll be seeing some cutting, weather permitting. So make sure you join us next week. We're gonna have some special guests on the channel. Quite a few special guests on the channel. So tune in to see who they are. And until then, I hope you all have a great week. Take care, everybody.